Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to show you exactly how I made $1,000 on my prop firm premium alpha futures account, 50K account. So this is the exact trade I took today to make $993. So basically, if you go on the charts, I pulled up the charts at about 10 o'clock at night and I was looking at it right here, and this is the first thing that I looked for. So I went on the 5-minute, and on the 5-minute, what I always do is, let's say you're trading at night, which this is Asia session at night, and this is the day that I was trading. You go to the day before, and I noticed that the market was pumping up since the last Asia. So what I do is I get my standard deviation, and I'll list this below the video, the settings that you have to do, and it's just called the fib retracement. You just click that and you start it. I'll give you the settings on how to do that and everything. Basically, you put it to the bottom of the Asia session and to the high of the Asia session. And if you want to know how to get these Asia session, London session, everything like that, you go over here to indicators, and it will be ICT kill zones and pivots by TFO. So basically, you do it to the bottom and at the top of the Asia session like that, and pull it over a little bit. And I noticed, so basically standard deviation is it's certain levels. So you can kind of predict where price is going to go. So I knew that price usually always rejects off of this level right here, which is the negative 2.25 right here. So I was assuming, okay, it's probably going to pump up since then. And we have a super nice manipulation right here. And sweeping the Asia, everything like that. But this standard deviation on the top to the low to the top of the Asia is, probably the best thing. I use it all the time. So we saw price going up like this, and now I just waited. So at this point, I waited, didn't rush a trade, and at this point, I noticed that it was touching Asia right here. So you go on the 1-minute. And I saw that it tapped it right here, and we can probably move that over. Boom. I saw that it tapped it, and I actually had entered a trade right about here. I actually entered 2 trades. I didn't lose too much, but I lost like $100 right here and then $100 right here. These were actually shorts. I don't know why I put long, but yeah, these were actually shorts right there. So I lost some money right there, but I waited and I was like, okay, you know what? This looks like it's pretty good, because what I noticed here is, since off of this negative 2.25, which is a key level, always rejects off of that, I noticed that there's another kind of confluence that I use in trading, and it was this. So I waited, and I saw this. So I was like, okay, basically the low to the high on the 5 minutes, you wait for the low to the high. So if it's going up right here, it's kind of consolidating, and we get this high, and then it comes down and makes this low, I would mark the low to the high, just like that. And I would wait for price to come up and tap into 705 to this 05 level. And sometimes it hits the 05, sometimes it hits the 705, so you don't want to just take a trade right off of it. You kind of want to, use other confluence, so like fair value gaps, stuff like that. So basically, put it right here to here, and that's obviously a fair value gap. So I kind of use that as a little confluence, for it to go down. And it's in this level between the 0.5 to the 705. And so this is what I did. I sold right about here. My stop loss was right there. And what I targeted was, if you notice on the 1-minute, since it came up and tapped this negative 2.25 level, you almost are certain that it's going to go down. So I noticed this manipulation. See how price is going up? If you grab this, see how price is going up? Boom, 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 like that. And if you move this over, I like to use this to figure out, my manipulation. So what would be the manipulation? Probably be this, huh? So what would that be? That would be this leg. So you get the standard deviation to the top of that right there, to the low and this is always the bodies. And so you always put the bodies. And basically, I noticed with that, what I wanted to reach for is a key level, which is what? The negative 2.25. So I put that right there, and I marked that negative 2 level. And this is pretty simple. I mean, these are, the more you watch this, the more you'll learn. You know, like this is basically the confluence I use. And so off of that, I knew that it was going to tap that 0.5, and my take profit, I put it all the way down at this negative 2 level. And the reason why I did that is because it could reverse off that level and just go straight up. And I'll show you in a little bit what it actually did, and off of that level, and it's pretty clean. So sold right there, stop loss right there. We watch it on the 1 minute, boom, and boom. I mean, perfect trade. I actually got a little less than that because I entered like right here. So $1,000 trade. I mean, it was beautiful. All glory to God. Beautiful trade. And so basically I can just kind of go over what I just said. So on the 5 minute, you always find that Asia the day before marked the low to the high. And sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it does. And you kind of go with the direction that the market's going. So let's say Asia is right there. If the market actually started to go down, you would, instead of putting out the low to the high, you'd put it to the high to the low, because the market's going down. You want to see if it reacts off that level. So basically, standard deviation on the Asia, kind of go over here and find that level, negative 2.25. It rejects off of that level. You go on the 5 minute and you kind of find a confluence to trade off of, which mine was the high to the low of that move. You go on the 1 minute and then you find that move, boom. Doesn't have to be a fair value gap. Sometimes it might just come into it, move around a little bit, and then inverse a fair value gap and go down. Or it might just tap the 0.05, which there's a fair value gap right there, and it just sells off. And if we look at this, I'm glad I got out there, because now that I look at the market, this is in real time, we kind of just shot back up. So we're probably going to come up here and it would have taken me out. So glad I got out right there and I didn't, take too much and wasn't too greedy. So that's pretty much kind of the trade that I took. And yeah, I mean, I hope y'all guys learned from this. And yeah, thanks for being in the Discord. See y'all later.